Hi Frank, hope you're well. Can we just start off with team news first of all for the game?
Yep, everyone's fit. Fully fit squad.
Good news. Olivier Giroud hasn't actually started a Premier League game this season. Given his performance the other night and his other performances, is he making it almost impossible for you to leave him out? And can you give him any reassurance with the Euros coming up in the summer that he will get enough game time at Chelsea this season?
Well, it's not, I don't think it's a case of giving any player assurances of game time. I think with a competitive squad like we have, that's very difficult to do. All you want is for players when they're out of the team to train well. I keep saying the same thing about Ollie, to train well, get themselves in the team and perform like Ollie did the other day. And of course that gives me nice problems as such. Ollie's always done that for me here. I think particularly at the back end of last season he's played as regularly as he's played at Chelsea in my time at the club. Last season, particularly in restart, when he was fundamental in us managing to get to the Champions League spots. So I'm happy with him. He's given me a really nice problem. His form's good. He's training well. I'm obviously not going to give my team selection up today.
And with him individually, just looking further ahead, is he happy and does he believe that he will get that game time? Any issues on that front? Because we all know that the window is about to open.
Yeah, I can't answer that for Ollie. I can't. All I can say is from my point of view, and I don't want to go over the same answer again, but in that forward area I have competition for places. Tammy Abraham has been playing very well for us this season and been scoring goals and making assists, and he brings attributes. Olivier, like we saw the other night, brings his attributes. So that's great competition for me. So as I say, I can't give assurances, and you'd have to ask Ollie, but I never see anything negative from Ollie, and I've got huge respect for him. And playing like the way he did the other night, clearly he's going to get opportunities to play for us because that was just a top class performance all round.
Frank, you come up against Marcelo Bielsa and Leeds United once again. Do you and can you forgive and forget what happened with Spygate? Is it forgotten now?
Yeah, it's in the past. I'm certainly not going to dwell on it going to this game. I'd rather dwell on the respect I have for him as a coach. It was a great news story. Had a lot to it, and it's gone. And again, I just look at him and how well he did. He brought Leeds up the year after. They were one of the strongest teams, probably the strongest team in the Championship almost the year that we played against them at Derby. So it was a very proud moment for us, for myself actually, to go against him and win that game. But it's a game long gone now, and I go up against him with a team in great form, and I just see the football side of it now.
I don't want to dwell on it either, but he did say that he's learned a valuable lesson about English football culture. Is that good to hear in one way though after all this time?
I'm absolutely not concerned about what lesson he's learnt or not. Honestly, I really don't. I'm definitely not going to hang on it in this game. It's long gone. I respect him. I respect Leeds. I'm only concerned with us being right tomorrow to try and win the match.
You've got fans in the ground, 2,000 of them coming to Stamford Bridge. How big an impact do you think 2,000 fans can make in a big stadium like Stamford Bridge? And do you think clubs who can bring in fans might have some sort of a competitive advantage over those clubs who can't?
I don't know. I think it's a good question, that one, and it's uncertain times and unfortunate if it's the case where some clubs can't in whatever tier they're in. I suppose to focus on us, yes, they can help us by being at home, by being vocal, by being supportive. Chelsea fans are always like that for us at Stamford Bridge, and although we want more, I know that we played a pre-season game against Brighton. I think it was 2,500. And they definitely affected the atmosphere, even though it was that low sort of number compared to the stadium. So I expect it to be something to hopefully get behind us on the day.
Thanks, Darmesh. We'll move around and come to Jerry.
Hi Frank, can you hear me?
Hi Jerry, I've got you.
Yeah, Chelsea Leeds has got a history going back probably before your day really, but always used to be quite a fiery derby, a lot of competitiveness between the two clubs. What do you see tomorrow's game being like, and do you think this could be the start of a new era of sort of rivalries between the two clubs?
I'm aware of the rivalry myself from being obviously a Chelsea player for so long, and I know how the fans feel about it, and that's good. That's football rivalry in the Premier League, two huge clubs having feelings and having a history. It's hard for me to sort of equate that history and talk to, I don't know, Timo Werner, Havertz and certain players that they don't know that history. So they can only look at Leeds at face value and see a very good team, very well managed team, who play with incredible energy and speed in their game. So I don't know if rivalry will come or not, but I know that it will be a competitive match because that's how Leeds approach games these days.
And Billy Gilmore now, he made the squad on midweek on Wednesday. Do you see him being a player who's going to get some game time now, especially in a busy month when you've got a lot of matches coming up?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, we are competitive in midfield. As I mentioned at the start, we don't have injuries at the moment, so the numbers mean that some players miss out on squads and some do tomorrow. But yeah, the quality of Billy hopefully means he'll get some minutes, particularly when we look at the Champions League game coming up in midweek and what's on that game. But more than that, I think Billy's quality will shine through, but obviously there is competition in that area, so we'll have to see.
Come to Jonathan. Unmute yourself, Jonathan.
Yep, gotcha. Hi, Frank.
Hi.
You were still at the club when Chelsea signed a teenage Patrick Bamford, and even though he went out on loan, obviously for a number of different years in different places, was his quality talked about? Is there anything you remember from a young Bamford in those days?
Yeah, I remember him well. He trained with us quite a lot as a young player when he arrived at the club. Clearly had great finishing abilities and an eye for goal from that early stages at Chelsea. Obviously it didn't quite work out for him. That's probably more due to the competition he faced at that period up front for us. And I think he should be proud of the way his career has gone to make different moves and to come back and be one of the leading scorers in the Premier League in a very good Leeds team. So I like Patrick as a lad. He's playing very well. As I say, I'm really happy for him.
And we can see how you're gelling on the pitch as a team now, Frank. I just wonder, sort of behind the scenes, you know what sort of characters it takes to create a great squad community, if you like. Do you see that already?
Well, I do at this period in time, but what it takes to win over the course of a season is consistency. And at the minute we're playing well. We can get better for sure. We've got a good spirit. I think the 9 changes in midweek and the performance and result showed that. But things will test you along the way on that front when players play well and maybe aren't in the team the next week because of the competition or tough matches. Premier League is unforgiving. Every game is difficult. So there'll be a lot of tests on the way. So we should be very understanding of where we're at. We're in a good place, but things can be a lot better, and they'll need to be if we're going to sustain it through the season.
Alison.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Alison.
I just wonder, you must be very proud of your clean sheets record at the moment, and Leeds having, I think, second most shots in the Premier League. Do you think this is perhaps the biggest test for your defence and for Mendy that you've had so far?
Yeah, I think it will be a big test for us. I think if you analyse Leeds, not an easy team to analyse because of the way they play, but when you just look at the stats and, as you say, lots of shots, scoring goals against top teams, pretty much against anyone, they create a lot. So we'll have to be at our absolute best in terms of concentration and the togetherness of us as we defend. We've been showing some really good signs. That's how you get clean sheets from front to back, and it'll be a huge test against Leeds because they're one of the most dangerous teams in the league.
And just another question about, obviously we've spoken a bit about Bamford, who you know well, but also Jack Harrison. You had a chance to play alongside him, didn't you, in New York? Has that helped you much in your preparation for this game?
Yes and no, because Jack is a million miles from the player he was in New York, and I hope that doesn't sound negative in any way, because he was a real developing player at that point. An absolutely lovely lad. Got so much time for Jack, keep in touch with him. I actually spoke to him the other day. And the player that he's developed into at Leeds has been really, really impressive. I think he's playing great football. He's a threat, 2 feet, quick, runs, high intensity. And he's one of their major players in an attacking sense, and I'm delighted for him at how his career's gone. Of course, we want to sort of nullify that tomorrow, but his career has gone in a great direction, and it will continue to.
Let's finish this section with 2 from Declan at TalkSport.
Afternoon, Frank. You briefly touched on the fans there, and of course it is a welcome return. But what does it mean for you and the players to have them back at the Bridge this Saturday?
It means a great deal. We've been missing them. In restart, there was just a focus on getting the season finished. I think this season started, and I certainly feel it. And I would guess players and other managers are the same. It's the job we do, and we love it for a reason. Working in the Premier League because of the fans and because of the rivalry and because of what it means to people. So to be able to get 2,000 for us of our fans is a huge deal. They've been patient. I know more fans will want tickets than can get tickets. You know, we hope that moves in the right direction quickly. But you know, it'd be nice to hear them tomorrow supporting the team.
And of course, you briefly touched there on Patrick Bamford. We saw last week against Everton, they posed many threats, in particular wide. Just how difficult has it been to prepare for this game, considering the travelling you had to do this week? And in regards to Leeds, they've had a whole week to prepare for this game. Yeah,
I mean, that comes with being a team that are fighting in Europe, so we shouldn't complain too much. Practically, of course, it affects things, and I have to look at squad rotations. We have to really focus on recovery, maintenance in between games, so we can't work too much on the physical nature, where, as we know, one of Leeds' strengths is their physical side, their energy, and they've had a long week at it, but we should just expect that from Leeds and just worry about ourselves.